Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is November the 17th. Oh, yes, it is. In some places, it still is. 2020. Strong hand. Buying over crying. Oh, we're going to talk about that. Buy and hold. Golden age of the 2020s. Halving hype. We'll talk about the halving hype that happened in 2020. You should have been hyping it in your head because now it's freaking paying off. Strong hand until 2024, of course. Be a unique beast. Compete. Don't complain. Don't pedestal people. We'll talk about that. Have some conviction. Yeah, the conviction's paying off tonight, isn't it? All right, I'm offended by selling. I don't know how anyone can sell right now. What a glorious time! It reminds me of December of 2017. So, hello, my elite friends. How are you doing? It is in the middle of the night here in Salt Lake City. It's in the middle of the night everywhere in the United States. In Europe, it's the morning. In Australia, it's probably a reasonable time. So, this is a unique beast type of show, giving you a live show here on the main channel again. Please check out This Week in Bitcoin, which is now on the main channel, disruptmeister.com. And I want everyone to do me a big favor here because we don't like the YouTube algorithm. So we're going to mess with the algorithm. If you're watching this live, if you're in the chat, I love when you guys chat. But something you can do before you leave is just leave a comment under the video. Just leave comments. Leave comments. Say, Adam, your hair looks great. Or, try to keep it on topic, but I know a lot of people get distracted. I understand. If you take away one thing from this video, well, take away that you have to have a strong hand. But secondly, that you leave a comment under all my videos. We're messing with the YouTube algorithm, okay? They mess with me. We mess with them. All right, pound that like button. So here, let's start with this tweet. And if you have questions, I have answers. Type in BitcoinMeister or do a super chat. It's great to be back in super chat land, isn't it? The Bitcoin rally is kind of weird, though, since people told me the halving was priced in. That is from Whale Panda. Yeah, everyone was saying the halving was priced in, right? The halving was priced in. There were some of us that knew it was all part of the process, okay? You have the slow build up, and then you have the big explosion, and it's due to a lack of supply and an increase in demand. It's that freaking simple, people. A lot of people try to give complex reasons. By the way, this is turmeric in my hand. Turmeric over Tootsie Rolls. Check out the Beyond Bitcoin show. You can learn more about turmeric over Tootsie Rolls. This stuff is healthy for you. So it's great. Very good. Used in Asia and stuff. But yes, very good. All right, now let's go back. So that's a great tweet, a funny tweet. Whale Panda can be hilarious sometimes. So earlier this evening, Bitcoin surpassed $18,000 for the first time in a while. After surpassing $17,000, well, 24 hours early, I don't even know. It's coming so, and then surpassing 16,000 quite recently also. This is the only time it feels like 2017. It feels like December of 2017. When like all the new all-time highs, now this isn't an all-time high, but in a sense it is almost an all-time high. The Bitcoin market cap is as high as it's ever been. There are many records that are being broken. Today, we reached a high of 18,393 so far. Now, I'm not a fiat freak, but there have only been 4 days in the entire history of Bitcoin where there's been a higher than that, okay? There's only been 4. You'd go to CoinMarketCap, you'd look it up yourself, and you can see there have only been 4 days, 4 freaking days. So you know the saying, one day closer to an all-time high? You can start to taste it now when there's only been, now we're not talking about the closing price or anything like that. I'm just talking about you could pick any day in the history, the 11-year history of Bitcoin, however long it's been now. How old is Bitcoin? I don't know. And almost 12 years old. And you can see, that this today, there's the high of the day has only been surpassed on 4 other days. So that's quite incredible. Now, a few hours ago, I believe it was 3.5 hours ago, 12:30 at night on the East Coast, Bitcoin was like $18,300. It dropped down to 17,100. There was, and some of you won't even know this because you were asleep. Maybe you'll look at the chart, but out of the blue, maybe there was a mass set. Someone decided to sell everything. A big whale made a mistake and sold. That is a mistake. Trust me. Pound that like button. And in the 3 hours that have passed since then, Bitcoin has recovered back over $18,000 again. But I want everyone to get used to that type of turbulence. I didn't think it would. I thought it would just stick around the 17,000s for the rest of the night. So I do want everyone to prepare themselves for something like that to happen in the middle of the day when they're paying attention. That Bitcoin will drop $1,000. It dropped over $1,000. In seconds or minutes, whatever. And it's great that this is the fifth best day ever. It's awesome. Okay, it's cool. I get it. But think long term. We're going to have this will be forgotten. This day like this will eventually be forgotten. We're in a new cycle, baby. We're in the new freaking bull cycle. It's a 210,000 block theory, baby. We're one day close to that all-time high. It's going to be a lot different. But I really want to stress that that $1,100 drop that we just had and then recovered from. Be ready for it to drop before the end of this month, even. It could easily drop. If it's 18,000 right now, it could get back into the 13,000s again. We could have a $5,000 drop. But that doesn't mean we're still going to get to the all-time high. You just have to be ready, dude. You just have to be prepared for it. I'm going to have some good news for you here too, in terms of the numbers. We're going to talk a lot about numbers. All right, now after a dip like that, I like to listen to the song. Oh, I happen to be listening to the song "Eye of the Tiger" by Survivor, and pay close attention to this lyric. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. So, dudes, your dream of the past, one day closer to an all-time high, your fight to keep those dreams alive, you just have a strong hand. That's your freaking fight, okay? Don't let a $1,000 drop or a $5,000 drop freak out and forget what the dream is, baby. We've been through a lot these last 4 years or last 3 years on the return, on this pathway to the return to an all-time high, okay? We fought the good fight here. Don't forget it. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. I love that, baby. Eye of the Tiger. And guys, yes, us holders, us whatever animals you want to call us, okay? Unique beast, we have the freaking eye of the darn tiger. All right. The honey badger's got the freaking eye of the tiger. We're the apex freaking predator. All right. Now, check out This Week in Bitcoin. Tommy and Gordon Einstein were freaking awesome. It's linked to below. Yes, best guest in the space. Tommy's been on the show before. You know him. Gordon had never been on the show before. People were freaking raving about him. So he's a genius. He's an Einstein, right? He's an Einstein. That's his last name. Gordon Einstein. It's really his last name. Right? So he's an Einstein. And you can tell he's a freaking Einstein. People have tried to FUD about, the FUD is so cyclical. It's so entertaining to me in a way. And by the way, join Parler. I'm BitcoinMeister there. Crypto Parler. People use that hashtag Crypto Parler. People have been doing that actually. It's been great. But Nick Carter has a tweet, and I haven't linked to everything. If you're watching this live, I haven't linked to everything yet because it's in the middle of the night. I want to go to sleep soon, but I'll link to it eventually. And Nick Carter fights some FUD here, all right? And he's got a great article that explains why Bitcoin is doing better than it ever has before. Even though we're not at the all-time high yet. What's he call this article? 9 Bitcoin charts already at all-time highs. All right. So in many different ways, Bitcoin, as I said before, the market capitalization of Bitcoin is at an all-time high. All right. The other cap, I forgot what it's called. It's at an all-time high. The one that I like better, that I never can remember the name of. You know it. But a few people who don't know much about Bitcoin, this is typical FUD. They're like, it's Tether that's pumping up the price. And it's not. All right. But he does make a really cool point that points out the difference between now and the past with Bitcoin. The growth in stable coins is a positive for Bitcoin. It's not pumping it. It's a positive for Bitcoin, not because of the conspiracies around unbacked issuance, but simply because it means that the liquidity environment is vastly improved. All right, so what does that mean? It's a lot easier because of these stable coins for people just to get into stable coins and then like easily be able to buy Bitcoin whenever they want to, okay? Just like that. Beforehand, when there were no stable coins or there weren't that many stable coins, I mean, you'd have to rely on your bank to transfer money, your Coinbase, to rely on the old rails of fiat to buy your Bitcoin. It's much easier. It's much easier. I don't like keeping. Some people like to keep fiat in stable coins. Okay, that is their fiat now. It is the stable coins. It's revolutionary, and it definitely as he said, it has the liquidity environment has vastly improved. Now, the continued growth of GBTC is evidence that older and less crypto native cohort of investors retains a significant appetite for the asset, even if the exposure is inefficient. And this is what I've been saying for a while. And this has been helping the price of Bitcoin. We've got traditional investors who don't want to learn how to hold Bitcoin properly, and they are willing to pay more for Bitcoin, okay? And yes, their exposure is inefficient. It's their choice, okay? It's their choice. We are efficient here. They're inefficient. But these people who want inefficient exposure, it's growing. It's growing very fast here. He has 500,000 Bitcoin locked up over there. Is that the number he has locked? Yes. He's got 500,000 Bitcoin locked up. We'll get to that in a second. So Coinbase went down. That's bullish. That's always bullish. Your Bitcoin's doing well. But I'm going to say this. For the people who crashed Coinbase because of the FOMO, and it's weird because there isn't that much retail FOMO out there, but apparently it was enough to crash. Dudes, you shouldn't be buying it now. All you people who bought it Coinbase, you should have been watching the freaking BitcoinMeister all these years and been buying it when it was low, when a bunch of people weren't running the Coinbase to try to buy it. So I don't care if Coinbase crashed. I think it's a good sign. I don't care if they can't fix that, okay? You should have already bought your Bitcoin. You shouldn't be... you should if you've been listening to the show for a long time. I mean, we just had an opportunity on March the freaking 12th to get Bitcoin for below $5,000. So, I mean, if you're rushing to Coinbase to buy it now, I don't know where you've been, man. Where you been? I mean, it's just herd mentality. It's herd mentality, and we are not even at true herd mentality yet, because the mainstream media, they'd rather just cover political nonsense. The Bitcoin story, really, if you boil it down to important stories on the planet Earth right now, it's more important than the virus. It's more important than the presidential election, because it affects you personally. Okay, you can change your whole financial future with Bitcoin. I mean, that's what I did. I mean, if you guys only freaking knew I mean, come on, dudes. And no one. It's freedom. It is the ultimate freedom, and anyone can buy it. You can be in Nigeria and freaking buy it. Okay, so it is the biggest story out there. But the mainstream media wants the bread and circuses. They want the hysteria. They want so they will cover it when it hits the all-time high. I mean, they can understand that. They're very simplistic. Well, some of them are intelligent, but they only want to boil things down to very simple stories. And they know that's a simple story. Bitcoin, all-time high. But this ramp up to the Bitcoin, and also, Bitcoin crashes. They like that type of story too. That's very easy to explain also. But what's going on right now, 16,001. I mean, on the 16th, it was $16,000. On the 17th, it was $17,000. On the 18th, it was $18,000. That's freaking exciting. But they'd rather Trump, they'd rather cover Trump and Biden and all of this. But they will cover it. And when they do cover it, Coinbase will crash again, probably. Okay, this is not retail that is fueling this. It is the rich getting richer. All right, and I have no problem with that because I prepared for this. We've talked about this a million times on this show, that in 2024 there are going to be a lot of bitter people that are going to be like, why did the institutions get in before me? Why did the rich people get in before me? That is what is happening right now. The rich people and the institutions are getting in right now. You'd have to be blind and deaf not to understand that. With Bitcoin Noah, Michael Saylor tweeting every single day about how many freaking Bitcoin he has and how many Bitcoin his company has. And then all these, a bunch of, every day, it seems like there's a new company that's announcing it, or a new rich guy is coming out of the closet and saying that he owns it, that he bought some. But yet, what we have is people stuck, worried about a cold, worried about who's president. And it's just funny that we have British people and people all over the world who care more about who's president of the United States than learning about Bitcoin. I mean, that's more pathetic than an American being obsessed with the presidential election. Is these foreigners that are obsessed with the presidential election and are just getting poor and will just be a big crybaby socialist in 2024, saying it's unfair that Michael Saylor is a multi-billionaire now, and they're still freaking trying to get welfare off the Australian government or something like that. Yeah, there are plenty of CUCK Australians who are like locked in their houses right now, crying about Trump or Biden or whatever, who should be buying freaking Bitcoin. Pound that like button. Be like Stefan Livera, okay? Don't be like the freaking screaming Karens of Australia. And New Zealand wanted to change. I remember when I was in New Zealand, they wanted to change their flag. They should just make it a freaking screaming Karen. That's what the flag of New Zealand should be. What a disgrace. And I know there's some good guys in there that bought Bitcoin, but there'll be plenty of people that are just compliant New Zealand dollar slaves stuck in that in that second or third tier currency. What a life you guys live over there on the island. This is your opportunity. But yeah, you'll be better in 2024. All right. So what is this? Oh yeah, and on that note of Stefan Livera, he says, "Don't like facing accountability and having to be competent. Fiat money is great for sustaining such a system. For everyone else, there's Bitcoin." And yes, everyone else is not the majority. Most people don't like facing accountability and having to be competent. So yes, fiat money, whether it be the New Zealand dollar or the Australian dollar, you freaking CUCKs over in Oceania, yeah. And he's not one. He is, again, Stefan Livera is the opposite of CUCK in Oceania. But no, most people, no, they since they don't like facing accountability, they don't like being competent, they will continue to be compliant bootlickers of the government, and they won't find out what we know right now, or they're not going to find out about it until Good Morning Frickin' America has a big poster saying, "Ooh, Bitcoin hit $20,000 today." I mean, that's how these guys find out about their information. What a disgrace. What a disgrace. And so, yes, and people like to complain about the rich, the one percenters and everything, the banksters, the this, the that, and the other. I love it. I love it that those people are getting rich right now when these incompetent people who can't do their own research are going to be crying in 2024. Don't blame the rich. Have accountability. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. And take the opportunity by the cojones and run with it, okay? We've been talking about this for so long now, but we live in a world where there is people don't. I mean, Gavin Newsom, he's a great example of it. No accountability there, no competency there. Oh yeah, I'll tell everybody to shut down their lives, get rid of the Thanksgiving, and then I'll sneak out and have a big party at a big fancy restaurant in Northern California, Sonoma, or wherever he had it. And then when he gets caught, then he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I made a huge mistake." He thought he could get away with it. All right, now, what do we have here? he plays it off and tries to distract you. What he should anyway. Now, moving on, I've combined too many things in this beautiful show. Now, what's this? Oh yeah. So we're talking about the fiat worshippers of the world, be it Gavin Newsom, being the New Zealanders or whoever out there who because this fiat money is great. It's sustaining this system of lockdowns and actually thinking about what the real problem is here, and having to have a competent job. There's no one in government is competent at all. But and here since the ECB called Bitcoin the evil spawn of a financial crisis, it added a 2 trillion euro. It added 2 trillion euros to its balance sheet. And the euro has lost 64% in value against Bitcoin, even more now. Okay, so Bitcoin has gained 180% since ECB called it evil spawn, even more, even more now. So it's I usually ignore such attacks because they always become ironic very, very fast, very soon. So, but most people they hear their monetary policymakers call Bitcoin an evil spawn, evil this, evil that, and they go with it. They can't think for themselves at all. But if they actually took a minute to do some research here, they'd see how freaking disgraceful every freaking fiat currency has done against Bitcoin in this quarter, in this year, where the whole world was panic stricken. Okay, Bitcoin has rocked it's a tremendous news story that hardly anyone in the mainstream media is talking about. Now, in the economic mainstream media today, Bloomberg was covering it, Forbes has covered it, but that's just a niche there. That's a niche. So again, who basically reads the mainstream financial media? Upper middle class, and the wealthiest of the wealthy. And so yeah, the rich will get richer. And we're supposed to feel bad for these poor people. No, I don't feel bad for them at all. I praise the rich people who get off their tuchluses and actually do this stuff, okay? And you lazy bums, you're lazy bums, okay? The productive are striking back. This is our way of striking back. You lazy bums, you can complain about your cold, you can complain about your president or whatever. That's fine. So then in 2024, I guess you'll cry even more. But you're not taking our Bitcoin because remember, unconfiscatable, baby. It's a harsh world. I'm putting it out there in harsh freaking terms. Bitcoin is a harsh mistress, isn't it? Isn't it now? Isn't it now? This is where the big boys play, and this is the way the big boys talk. All right, now pound that like button. But here we go again. Look at this. On Friday, Skybridge Capital filed an amendment with the SEC allowing their $3.6 billion fund to start investing in Bitcoin. Now, they might not actually invest in Bitcoin. They should. Now they have the ability to. That was a Scaramucci's fund there. A lot of people know him from politics. He's smart. He's not in politics anymore. He's into this stuff, the money. Good job. But it's like every day we're hearing now, we're not hearing these lame-o stories anymore like, ooh, an entrepreneur wants some Africans to spend $1 of Bitcoin. Now, that's cool. That's cool. But on the grand scale of things, when we're talking about multi-billion dollar funds, multi-million dollar funds, multi-billion dollar companies buying Bitcoin, that makes a bigger difference, okay? It's a freaking supply and demand. There's only so much Bitcoin out there, all right? And then you can have, and then it's times like this when we think about the old scaling debates, and we had a guy, Roger Ver, you have to be able to spend it fast. It has to be scalable. It has to be this. It has to be that. No, dude, it's nonsense now. It's not real money unless you can spend it at the 7-Eleven, unless you can buy coffee with it. No, you still can't buy coffee with it. You really can't, can you? Did that stop MicroStrategy? Does that stop Scaramucci? Does that stop this Mexican guy I'm going to tell you about in a second? No, they don't care about Lightning Network. They don't care about Bcash. They don't care about any other cryptocurrency. They care about a store of value. They see what's going on this freaking planet right now, that every single nation is printing money insanely, and that governments are becoming more and more harsh on their people. What's a way to fight that? You buy a coffee at the 7-Eleven, or you take complete control of your wealth and make sure that these countries, which are overreaching all over the place and overprinting and need to find scapegoats. So you fight back against them. You're not going to be the scapegoat. They're not going to be able to take from you. There are going to be plenty of rich people who aren't going to be going down our path that will gladly bow down and lick the boots of the government and feel guilty and say, please tax me, tax me. Warren Buffett, he's a great example of that. He's not getting into Bitcoin. He's thinking that, he plays the little word games and everything like that. He bends down and he lets them tax him, and he has some ways around it, but he pays plenty of taxes. He gives them plenty of their SJW stuff. We don't have to do that anymore. We don't, and plenty of rich people are figuring that out, and good for them. They're setting a very good example. They're setting, because we earned it. We earned our wealth. We don't have to give you our wealth. We earned it. You're not going to take our darn wealth, all right? And you too, who wants to steal my wealth, you can change your ways, and you can amass wealth also. The opportunity is out there. Don't be a liar in 2024 and say, oh no, I couldn't buy Bitcoin. It was only for rich people then. No, it's pretty darn easy. Coinbase just crashed today. Or go to Swan. Figure it out, you poor slump. You who believes in Tootsie Rolls over turmeric. Now, God, it's late here, isn't it? But I'm going to roll. Let's continue. Let's continue this. So some famous girl named Macy, I don't know who she is because I don't know who famous people are anymore. She's not that attractive. She had a question on Twitter, to get attention from men, I guess, saying, should she buy Bitcoin? And most people actually said she shouldn't buy Bitcoin. But Crypto Bobby had a very funny take on this situation. He says, it's not a top when celebs are asking, should I buy Bitcoin? It's a top when celebs are painting their nails with S coins that just 15x'd. So yes, for those of you who think that this girl named Macy that I never heard of, her talking about Bitcoin is like a sign that we're at the top. Oh, no. You must be new. No, it'll be when, exactly what he said, when they're putting painting altcoins on their fingernails. Then you'll have to start worrying that we're in a bubble or something like that. Now, all right, I talked about $500 billion market cap for all of cryptocurrency, okay? The cryptocurrency is at $500 billion. And now the record is $750 billion, okay? But now it's at $500 billion. Bitcoin is at $1/3 trillion right now. It's about $330 billion market cap, all right? So I just want you to keep in mind, every all-time high for the crypto market cap, that's a Bitcoin goal right there. Bitcoin will reach that eventually, okay? In around the current, the way I should have phrased it is that the current high for the market cap, where it is right now at $500 billion for all of cryptocurrency combined, that's an easy goal for Bitcoin. That's an easy goal, okay? It hits that goal before, obviously, it hits the $1 trillion Dan Tapiero and the Hoffman line, whatever you want to call that line. Now, but just keep it in mind. It's getting closer. That is a realistic goal for the near future. I don't know how near, but all right. We've got questions here in the chat, and I'm glad. Oh, everybody in the chat, retweet. I just retweet what's up there. And then check out Friday's show that I just put out there. Joe Schmo said, Macy did buy Bitcoin regardless, as per her latest tweet. Well, good. She'll become a lot of celebrities. They waste all their money on horrible things that are very unhealthy for them. That they snort off of countertops and whatnot. So I'm glad she's investing wisely. And by the way, there were some Bitcoiners back in the day. They thought, oh, dude, man, I got this money, this new internet money that's good for buying weed. I'm going to go buy weed with it. Okay, I can understand you're a pothead and you're going to try it once to use your Bitcoin to buy weed, and then okay, that's it. Then just like go to like down the North Avenue in Baltimore and just go to your local dealer. I mean, and use dollars. Why did you keep on? So we have these dudes in the Bitcoin space, and some of them are I mean, some of them are close to being no coiners or something. I think the ones that are in the Inquisition, the Bitcoiners that are in the Inquisition that are potheads, they know darn well that they are just so weak that they spent their freaking Bitcoin when it was $200 on freaking weed. How like I mean, I'm offended by that. I really am offended. I guess that's how you become a Bitcoin Inquisition member for like being bitter about like they just couldn't control themselves. They had to get more and more weed with Bitcoin. I mean, they thought it was so cool. Look, I could buy it on this online place. All right. All right. What do we get here? Wasabi said, you need to do a one Bitcoin show with the pothead voice, the entire time talking that way. Yo, dude, yo, Adam, man. Yo, Adam, there's this thing, Bitcoin, and I can buy weed with it. Yeah, that's what it's for. It sounds like it's like a digital gold. No, it's not digital gold, man. In the long run, well, I don't know what the long run is because I don't have a long-term memory or short-term memory. All right, so let's continue. Now, there are other questions here. Good morning from Lisbon, Portugal. Oh, dude, Anzias. I loved Lisbon, Portugal. I loved being there in 2017, and I remember being so excited when Bitcoin like hit $1,700, and I just thought, oh my God, I'm doing so well with this thing, man. I told everyone that it was okay to buy at 600 and 700. That's what I was, and that was just the beginning. I have some good memories from Lisbon, Portugal. You do not have a grid city. Your city is not shaped in a grid pattern at all. It is the complete opposite of that. It is complete anarchy, and you get lost. You here in Salt Lake City, where I am right now, it's a beautiful grid pattern. It's the city is shaped. The streets are in a grid. Lisbon is just like you're up hills. Every trolley's going different. It's just curves all over the place. But I love Lisbon, and it's a great place to visit during the winter. It's the best temperature in Europe during the winter, or in most of Europe. I mean, all right, yeah, realized cap I was talking about beforehand. Bitcoin is at an all-time high, and it's realized cap also. All right, and Wasabi also says the Bitcoin price 210,000 blocks ago was $721. Are you sure it was? I don't think it was. Actually, I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it had to be over $1,000. If it was just for like one day. All right, it was a lot less. It was a lot less because 210,000 blocks ago, it was January of 2017. Bitcoin was getting very close to its previous all-time high of $1,100. It was on that road to its all-time high. And guess what? 210,000 blocks later, we're on our road to the all-time high. Things that just swooped up there, just like January of 2017. But this feeling is much more like December of 2017, when it was just wild price increases and just an awesome, happy time. All right. We got other comments. 752. Oh, you said 4 years ago. No, 4 years ago. No, you're right. 4 years ago, you are correct. On this day, on November, it was in the 750s, but you got to be precise. 210. The rule is 210,000 blocks, and 210,000 blocks is, I think, about January the 7th. You can look it up. I mean, it's something like that, like January the 7th or January the 8th of 2017. So it's 46 months. I mean, it's 46 months roughly, but it's not even exactly 46 months. It's not 48 months. But anyway, I know, good approximation, exactly. All right, now let's move back. Let's get back to the story. Thank you for all the questions. Keep on asking them, people. Leave comments. If you're chatting, you can leave comments under the video too, and mess with this freaking YouTube algorithm, which is so interesting in the way it behaves. All right, so yeah, I forgot to say another day, another 2020 high. Obviously, this was the high for 2020. If there's only been 4 other days where it's gotten this high. Okay. 18,000. Okay, is it still $18,000 now? I don't even know. Oh, good. It's dropping during the show. But yeah, I mean, just dude, this is awesome time to be freaking alive. That's all I gotta say. Um, and Michael Saylor has a tweet. Bitcoin isn't a train leaving the station; it's an ark to avoid drowning in the currency flood. I just wanted to say he's Bitcoin Noah again, talking about the ark. Whenever he talks about the ark, I got to talk about it because he's Bitcoin Noah. We got to call him. Missing the train means an opportunity loss. Missing the ark means everything lost. Okay, we get it, dude. We get it. I like that you're using the Noah thing, man. The ark. You are Bitcoin Noah. You're trying to get all the little animals on the ark with you. All right, because there are a lot of little animals out there in the world that are people who behave like freaking animals. They have no common sense. They need someone to gather them up and just throw them on the freaking ark and get their senses straight. All right. All right. By the way, he he had 17,732 Bitcoin. Earlier in the day, when I first wrote down this tweet of his, I did 17,732 times 17,686. That was the price of Bitcoin at the time. Now it's obviously more than that. He has over $313 million worth of Bitcoin now. Over $313 million worth of Bitcoin this man owns. It's unbelievable, and I praise him. I love that the rich are getting richer. He's a great guy. People should emulate him. They shouldn't be jealous of him. They should just try to do what he did. Buy as much Bitcoin. He bought as much Bitcoin as possible there. Alistair Milne and what is this here? Okay, we talked about the. What is this? I'm going to read this tweet. I'm going to read this quote, but I think we already talked about this. Oh yeah, the market is now accepting a higher price for Bitcoin. The latest tri-weekly candle for the asset closed at 15,960, an 18% increase, showing that the market is now valuing Bitcoin much higher than it did in 2017. That is, yes, if you do tri-weekly candles, that was the highest tri-weekly candle close ever. Okay, I just put it out there. And yeah, we still haven't reached the monthly close all-time high, which would be close to, I think it would be 14,000. We might not reach it on November 30th. We could be below whatever it was, 14,100. I don't know what it exactly was. But dudes, it looks like we're probably going to reach it at the end of November. My prediction was we would reach it by December 31st. So I might be 1 month off. So I'd rather be wrong in that direction. Okay, it's fine. I mean, we know it's going to eventually happen. And I also, I mean, I thought the all-time high would be around December 31st, if not after. I was conservative in my prediction for the all-time high and for the monthly close all-time high. And it looks like my predictions could be beaten. I hope they are. I hope it does happen this year. I really thought it would happen next year, though. The all-time high, December 31st for the closing, which is basically next year. All right. It's not this month. It's next month. All right. So have a strong hand, everybody. The mainstream media coverage. Yeah. Here, Tyler Winklevoss says the media has completely missed the recent Bitcoin bull run. This is the problem with a centralized media complex. It chooses the narrative it wants, not the one that's actually happening. Time to decentralize. Well, dude, most people aren't going to decentralize. The media isn't being really decentralized. Well, unfortunately, the social media is becoming centralized. But I think Ben Shapiro is trying to decentralize the media a bit there. But your bigger point is that the media, the mainstream media, chooses the narrative it wants, and the 80%ers fall in line. The narrative right now is to be scared of some cold and to talk about who's president, and to worship them all. And so they'd rather talk about that than Bitcoin, the Bitcoin bull run, which we are experiencing. We have insider information. You get Bitcoin insider information here on the BitcoinMeister channel, but even if you're just familiar with Bitcoin, you're getting like normie insider information. The normies don't know about this. All right, we've got somebody sending a super chat there. The Halving Show sent 20 Norwegian kroner. Have some printed fiat. Thank you very much. and somebody did a bunch of decorations. Luigi Valentino said $20,000 by Christmas. Well, at one point I said it would be a nice Christmas present, and it would make sense with the 210,000 block theory also, that if Bitcoin reached an all-time high for Christmas. So I hope for all the people who celebrate Christmas, and I know I do not, obviously, because I'm Jewish, but I do. I know you guys love Christmas, and I hope you get that as a Christmas present. I really do. But more so than that, if you don't get an all-time high for Christmas, don't listen to these government sociopaths and not have a Christmas. Have your whole freaking families over. I mean, have a Christmas that's so freaking big that you invite like every Jewish person in your neighborhood over too. I mean, I already. You never know. I might be dressing up like a green red tree at your freaking Christmas party if you have it. I would come. Yeah, I would come. It's not. I wouldn't be celebrating Christmas. I mean, most of you guys don't do things with crucifixes and all that stuff. If you did, I wouldn't come to that. But I mean, if it was just a holiday party, which was your Christmas party, I would come to it just to spit in the face of the freaking bureaucrats who tell you not to have that party. Have those parties, people. Do not ruin your family traditions because some governor told you to do so. But and that's a better present, having your families over for Thanksgiving or for Christmas or for Hanukkah or for whatever, than getting the all-time high. We're going to get the all-time high. We're going to get there eventually. Let's take it one step at a time. All right. What else do we have here? And Bitcoin, I'm covering that Sailor tweet tomorrow, says UK BitcoinMeister. Well, tomorrow for you is, because you're already in Wednesday in England. It's Wednesday morning in England. In Honolulu, Hawaii, it's still Tuesday night. So Thursday morning, UK BitcoinMeister, watch his channel. It's every Monday and Thursday, and he'll be talking about Michael Saylor's Bitcoin Noah tweet right there. I hope you make a Bitcoin Noah allusion, man. We're talking religious things here, so why not? And of course, the Christians believe in Noah. Noah wasn't Jewish, Noah wasn't Jewish. He was before there was Judaism. Now, the Mexican. Okay, so Joe Schmo says the Mexican bill. You're stealing my thunder here, Joe Schmo. I'm about to talk about this, but and thank you, the Halving Show, for your thank you everyone for your comments, and Halving Show for your donations, and Joe Schmo, thank you for beating me to the punch by saying the Mexican billionaire put 10% of his net worth into Bitcoin, approximately $1.38 billion per his tweet. Yes, I'm going to read it. Of course, clearly you can understand Spanish. Well, actually, Twitter translates it for you. He did it in Spanish. We're going to talk about it. Luigi wants 25,000 by New Year's Day. Dude, that would be great also. I mean, yeah, it all sounds good. It's all good to me. When I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, yes, I'll be in Phoenix for during Christmas and during New Year's. So if you're in Phoenix and you want me to come to your holiday party, I will. And it's not like a religious holiday party. I will attend. Well, actually, it depends on what day of the week, Christmas. I don't even know. But also, tell me warm places to go to after January 5th, because I don't know where I'm going to be after January 5th yet. All right. Let's keep. This is a long show. But I mean, I had to give you a long one for my comeback on this channel, my live comeback on this channel. All right. So some of these threads here. What's this thread? What is this? Bloomberg. Okay, so Bloomberg had a thread where they mentioned Bitcoin. Okay, and Bitcoin was trending on Twitter at one point today. So that was good. That's a sign of good things. But I think crypto Twitter can be so overwhelming sometimes, and just the trending algorithm. I don't know how valid that trending algorithm is. I think they kind of exclude certain things, conservative stuff. But for some reason, Bitcoin broke into it today, which is good. But in a thread that I'm going to link to, a Bloomberg business thread. What is this here? Oh yeah, people in the thread were just saying it's hype. It's only hype. That's the only reason Bitcoin's going up. It's hype. Okay, I mean these type of comments are hilarious to read. They are hilarious to read in this just the excuses that these no coiners make up. They are so bitter. Like, why can't they just be? I mean, hype is not even. It's not even a good reason anymore. Hype. It's only hype that's making it. That's the only thing behind this is hype. By the way, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time on Friday is This Week in Bitcoin. Mark your calendar right now. So we will link to that. What is this? I don't even know what this is. Mariner Wealth Bitcoin. I don't even know what the heck story that is by CoinDesk. I put the link there. I don't even know what I was going to say about it. Okay, well, let's talk about this Mohammed El-Erian. We're going to talk about the Mexican guy in a second. Don't worry. El-Erian said something good about Bitcoin in a thread. Okay, and then BitcoinMeister said, I'd say the chances are he's already long. Smart money piling in. Retail has no idea still. That's his nice way of saying the rich are getting richer, okay? It's the smart money. It's the institutions and corporations that's what's pumping up Bitcoin now. That's taking away the supply. It's that freaking simple. And El-Erian is tweeting about it. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all that he's owning it too. He's a smart dude. Now, okay, so here's more smart money in Mexico. And what is this dude's name? Mexico's third richest man, owner of a media conglomerate, a bank, with the ear to the Mexican president, just disclosed his 10% Bitcoin position, shilling Saifedean's book in the process. Bitcoin protects the common citizen against government expropriation. Too bad the common citizen won't realize that, but you're absolutely right. He is the third richest person in Mexico, the 110th richest person in the world. Just told everyone to read Saifedean, the Bitcoin standard, and he has 10% of his liquid portfolio invested in Bitcoin. You think this run is over? No, it's not. So his name is Ricardo Salinas Pliego, and he has 809,000 people following him on Twitter. They are probably mostly Spanish speaking. And he gets a lot of play in that thread. A lot of people, I don't understand that thread very much because everybody commenting on it is speaking Spanish. So I think it's great that another wealthy guy comes out of the closet. He didn't say if he just bought it. We don't know that. So this might have happened a while ago, or it might have happened gradually over time. But he has just informed a lot of people who speak Spanish about Bitcoin in a very positive way. So I take it. I think it's great. I think it's great. We talk about English language Bitcoin dominating the world of language Bitcoin, and this is true. You should know English to fully grasp what's going on in Bitcoin, but there's a Spanish-speaking corner of the world too, where they just talk about Bitcoin, and he just made a big freaking splash over there in Spanish-speaking Bitcoin Twitter. Good. Now, we're going to talk. Now, I'm not pedestaling the guy or anything like that. I'm not worshiping the guy. I'm commenting on what he did. I think it's awesome what he did. Do I need him to do more? No, Bitcoin doesn't need him to do more. He's done what he's had to. We don't have to feel. If he all of a sudden sells it now, he said it's his liquid. He could sell it all. Okay, that's fine. I won't be that. That's he can do what he wants to do. I'm not going to beg him to do what I want him to do. All right, but we've got this guy named what's his darn name? Ray Dalio. Okay, so Ray Dalio last week rips on Bitcoin, and everyone's like, Ray Dalio's an idiot. He ripped on Bitcoin, and he thinks the government is going to make it illegal. And we discussed it in the sense that he brought up some FUD that a lot of people have brought up before. So when a prominent person brings up some FUD that some conspiracy theorist has brought up before, but now it's a somewhat legitimate person, well, then you got to address it and you discuss it like a mature adult. And he's welcome to think that. Well, now, I don't know if he wants social media engagement. Maybe he saw that his negative take on Bitcoin got him a lot of engagement, got his fund a lot of interest. I don't know. But so he's got a thread out there where he's like, make me change my mind about Bitcoin, okay? And oh my Lord, all these Bitcoiners are chiming in there, kissing his tuchlis. he says, I might be missing something about Bitcoin. I'd love to be corrected. My problems with Bitcoin being an effective currency are simple. And then he goes on, okay? So he's taking a Peter Schiff, like maybe he wants to become a Peter Schiff-like figure in our space. And everyone is falling for it. All these people are wasting their time. There are people on the thread that say they would give him money to appear on Bitcoin podcast, to debate with people. Who cares? Who cares what this guy thinks? Who cares? You're willing to give up your precious money to pay this billionaire or millionaire or whatever he is to give him more social media engagement? He's just using you. He's just using all these crazy Bitcoin people who feel it is so necessary to get the Ray Dalios of the world on our side. It isn't necessary. We don't need Ray Dalio. We don't need to pay Ray Dalio. We don't need to give our Bitcoin to Ray Dalio. Like all those schmoes who were giving Peter Schiff free Bitcoin that he lost. I mean, it's just as ridiculous as that. It's just as ridiculous as that. Dudes, you should have confidence in this, in Bitcoin, that you do not need Ray Dalio. Or you don't need Warren Buffett and all these other people that you want to go to dinner with to convince them to get into cryptocurrency and all this. There's a lot of billionaires out there that we've never heard of before that have secretly bought it, that are going to come out of the closet. They're great. We don't need them either. It's just, it's happening. All right. It's like Ricardo Salinas said. What did he say there? Bitcoin protects the common citizen against government expropriation. Okay. It's a freaking store of value. It's unconfiscatable. It's borderless. These are things that cannot be denied, and that people of all shapes and sizes and wealth are going to wake up to. And if you understand that, if you know that Bitcoin is the future, this is the golden age, you don't need the approval of any of these guys, and you shouldn't be obsessed with like getting them on board and stuff. And yeah, you can be happy when they jump into the fire with us. That's great. This is where the big boys play. You can welcome them. But man, to get like manic about these dudes, like, oh my God, oh, it's a chance. We should pay him to be on a broadcast with someone. All right. Yeah, so I talk about complexity worship a lot, and there is a Seeking Alpha article. It says why Bitcoin is skyrocketing. It really simplifies things. There is no complexity in this article, because the reason Bitcoin is skyrocketing is very simple. It's based all around that freaking halving hype. It's based around that the new supply has been cut in half. And that there's rule of law in Bitcoin, and that law is 21 million. There's that stability that everyone knows it's not going to get inflated away, and everybody knows how much is going to be created all the time. It's very predictable. It's very simple. All right. The rise of Bitcoin is textbook supply and demand. Since supply is fixed and more institutional investors and end users are adopting Bitcoin, the price has surged. Now, for some of you, they're like, oh, Adam, that's so simple and boring. I want to hear about Taproot and the complexities behind that. You're not going to hear about that here. All right. And guess what? Salinas doesn't care about Taproot. And neither does Michael Saylor. And neither does everybody else that's trying to protect their freaking wealth. Hey, great. You listen to a show about Taproot. Don't understand like 90% of what you hear. Pick your nose and don't buy Bitcoin and smoke weed. A lot of people do that. You're not really improving your life very much. If you just understand the basics that are in this article here, okay? Supply and demand type of stuff, you'll get it real quick, and you'll know to get more of this stuff. Now, it's more important. It literally is those simple basics of Bitcoin, and people are. And I welcome Taproot, and I welcome Lightning Network, and every second tier and third tier solution, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, that's great. But you got to understand where the rule of law emanates from. Okay, now, so let me read what this guy says. Supplies fit. Okay, and he says since supply is fixed and more and more institutional investors and end users are adopting Bitcoin, the price has surged. The positive feedback loop with Bitcoin appears to be getting stronger over time as adoption increases. And with much of the world's population under the thumb of authoritarian governments, demand for Bitcoin will only grow. And we talked about that beforehand. All right. Yeah. So yeah, that we have all these screamers out there begging for countries to imitate China's virus policy. Um, and that's making us richer. That is making us richer. When I say us, Bitcoin holders, because the world's population is under the thumb of authoritarian governments more and more, because we have screaming Karens demanding that their governments become more and more authoritarian. So we have a bunch of people screaming for more authoritarianism because they worship China now, and the smart money will go to something that the authoritarians cannot rule over. And what is that? That is Bitcoin. So it's sad that we have that the world is becoming more authoritarian. That a country like Australia, a country like New Zealand, which should be the freaking freest places on the planet Earth, are becoming more like China. But that only helps us here. All right. And I will say this, strong hands like me just love seeing the excuse makers in the comment section of articles like that. And it is very cyclical. It is very entertaining. People come up with the wildest excuses why Bitcoin will fail. I've heard them all before. And they complain. Some people, they hear about something new, they hear about something doing well, they're just going to complain about it. Some people compete and produce and do. You can talk a talk. Talking the talk is complaining. Walking the walk is doing and buying and producing. You choose where you want to be. Most people talk the talk, and they don't walk the walk. They don't come close to walking the walk. They want their authoritarian governments to think for them and to walk the walk for them. And so they end up in Australian and New Zealand dollars. Now, and I end up in Bitcoin. All right, so we talked about Bitcoin being the most important news out there. I had a tweet, which you guys should retweet, and some of you already did. Let's just say. All right. But yeah, the Bitcoin news, by the way, being the most important news out there, it really is only going to resonate with people, though, who are, because it involves independence. If you're a collectivist, it's only going to resonate with individuals. With collectivists, even when Bitcoin hits its all-time high and they finally hear about Bitcoin, the collectivists, it won't register with them at all. Still, I mean, some of them might be gamblers. And they might get it. It's only people with individualistic tendencies that are going to wake up. Okay, they might not be full individuals yet, but they might have individualistic tendencies. So I tweeted out. Because individualism is the accomplishment. Collectivism is the default. Individualism is the accomplishment. The mainstream media crafts a collectivist narrative with a scapegoat that the masses can be entertained by or scared of. Bitcoin involves controlling your own destiny, not living vicariously through leaders. So no TV for BTC. Because again, TV encourages people to live vicariously through their leaders. And that's Bitcoin. If you're going to get into Bitcoin, you have to be your own leader. You have to say, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to store this. I'm doing this because I'm telling myself to do it, not because the government's never going to tell you to do it. You're going to have to tell yourself to do it. So you can retweet that. Fox had future Senator-elect Loomis on from Wyoming. I mean, she's making the rounds now. What can I say? Every day, a new Loomis sighting. Good for her. Good for her. Use the crypto parlor hashtag. I see there's a question. Grayscale, as I said before, 500,000 Bitcoin now locked up. Hey, the great justlearnbitcoin.com sent me 500 Mexican pesos. Get well soon, justlearnbitcoin.com. We are thinking of you, man. You've got a strong hand. You're going through some trying times, man. This is part of life. You got a positive attitude, and I know you're going to be stronger coming out of this. You said pound that like button, and dude, we are all thinking about you, and we're thinking about Vention and everybody that's, everyone's got to deal with their personal health issues and everything like that, and just fight the freaking good fight, and be freaking positive, and be like freaking Uber Adam Meister positive, run through the freaking wall, because I'm doing that for you mentally right now. I'm running through that wall for you, man. I know you guys can do it, Vention and Just Learn Bitcoin, and anybody out there that might be feeling a little under the weather or whatever. Speaking of people who don't matter, why did fake Toshi? Why did fake Toshi sleep on the porch? I don't know. Why did fake? Because he lost the keys. Pound that like button, dude. That was a pretty funny joke. Hello, unique. Max X says unique beast. You better believe I'm a unique beast. I hope all you guys are unique beasts. And no doubt, Just Learn Bitcoin is going to be chilling with the Mexican billionaire soon. No doubt, consulting for him. Hopefully soon. Now, all right, let's go on to the rest of this. Oh my God, the show has been an hour. Wow. I say I want to go to sleep, and I give you a really super long show. But we've had a fun time, so retweet it, spread the word. BitcoinMeister channel is fully operational again. By the way, I said something about Taproot before. If you're interested in Taproot, go to taprootactivation.com. Bitcoin mining pool pool-in, which currently accounts for roughly 13% of the overall Bitcoin network hash rate, has launched a web page with information about the Taproot upgrade. So yeah, you can check it out there. But that Mexican billionaire, I doubt he's going there. But you can go there. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So yeah, Bitcoin's market cap has surpassed a third of $1 trillion, and that's an all-time high. And oh yeah, I wanted to share this really quick. Well, now we'll talk about it another time. All right, that's it, guys. That is bring on the institutional FOMO. It's sad that the institutional FOMO is probably going to happen before the retail FOMO. We really can't say it's institutional FOMO yet. We can just say it's like smart institutions are buying in, and smart money, rich people are buying in. But there will be institutional FOMO eventually, and it's probably going to be before the retail FOMO. Oh well, I mean, everyone has their chance. Pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the backup channel. Pound that like button. Thumping show, says UK Bitcoin Master, and that's some British term that means freaking awesome. At least that's what I interpreted thumping to mean. All right, dudes, have a good night. Have a good day. See you guys later. Bye-bye.